Hello fellow rock tumblers and just lovers of shiny rocks. Welcome back to another rock tumbling video. In this video, we're going to take all of these partially tumbled rocks and see how shiny we can make them. So what's the story behind this big pile of rocks? Well, my wife Kendra and I have been doing a lot of rock hounding out in West Texas, near the town of Alpine. She has picked up many little rocks and she just said, let's go ahead and get some of mine tumbled. Now, if you watch my videos, you know that Kendra doesn't like hers tumbled perfectly smooth. So I took a bunch of her rocks that she found, like this one for example, put it in the coarse grit for maybe 2 weeks. And that's all she wanted done for the smoothing. She doesn't mind these little, well, what I consider flaws. She likes them to have a little bit of that natural character to them. So I went ahead and got all these tumbled for a couple of weeks, and then we looked at them and thought, well, let's not waste a good video opportunity, because honestly, there are some beauties in here, and I would hate for all of you out there to miss some of these amazing rocks that nature has created for us. I think that once these are polished up, you're going to see some awesome little rocks. And remember, these were all just picked up out there in West Texas on some private land. Most of these came from the Coconut 06 Ranch. You're going to be amazed at how beautiful these turn out once they're finished. I was looking at them wet earlier, and I'm telling you, there are going to be some stunners in here. Some of the banding, some of the colors. I know, it's not tumbled perfectly smoothly, but that's okay. This is how Kendra likes them, and like I said, they are going to be beautiful. So what I'm going to do is take this big pile and get them in a vibratory tumbler. I've got an 18-pound bowl these should all fit in. And I'll go through my usual 10 to 12 day 4-step process. Once these are all finished with that final 14,000 grit aluminum oxide polish, thank you dogs, I will bring these back in here and I'll show you what they look like. Well, what do you think? The polishing of Kendra's West Texas rocks is finished. There are some beauties in here. I'm not going to lie to you folks, this video is probably going to be pretty long. If you like beautiful rocks though, you need to stick around because I think it'll be worth it for you. Let me go ahead and show you some of the nicer ones. Seriously, this is going to be a longer than usual video, only because I don't want you to miss some of these amazingly beautiful rocks that Kendra picked up out there near Alpine, Texas. Wow. And even though these aren't tumbled the way I would tumble them, just wait until you see some of the colors, some of the patterns, the variety. It's just amazing. This shade of blue, for example, really beautiful. This appears to be one that Kendra cut in half. Maybe it was one of our rock-off rocks. Look at that. It has that really pretty flame pattern in there. What do you think? Several of these look like this, where you can see there's some coarse areas on it, but the high spots took a good shine. And then you look at the, I guess, cut surface. This must have been another one of her rock-off rocks or just one that she cut. And in there you can see lots of beauty. Look at that tiny sort of sagenitic effect in there. And over here it looks a little mossy right in there. I'm telling you folks, there are a lot of really cool rocks in here. You're going to see a big variety of agate types, including, of course, moss agate. Look at this one. The colors in here, I'm telling you, that's a red and a purplish color. You see that? Oh, that is stunning. Heck, I don't even care that it's a very rough tumble. To get color like that in nature is just amazing. You just saw some moss agate. Check out some banded agate here. Here's a tiny piece of agate she picked up, just laying out there on the ground somewhere near Alpine, Texas. Check it out. Once you polish it up, what a beauty. This one has a really nice pattern in it. Check this out on this side. Oh yeah, and then look at that side there. Isn't that really pretty stuff? Oh, I just could not be happier with these little agates. Notice that right there, you see the little Easter egg? We've got a tiny little dendritic section in there. I could just spend hours looking at these things up close. Check out this bumpy, lumpy one here. When you take a close look, oh yeah, look at that in there. Can you see that? You got the banding, but you also have, what the heck is that? Is that pluming in there or just moss? I can't really tell looking at my phone, but I can tell that it's just a great pattern. I find this one very interesting. Not so much for this side, but look at this side here, and then as I tilt it back, you can see it has that metallic right there. You see it right in there. That metallic look to it. What a fun rock. Otherwise, it's not so impressive, but I do like that. Many of these were the West Texas biscuits that we cut in half. Here's what the shell looks like once you grind it down and polish it. You can see it's kind of interesting. What was nice about this one, though, was the cut surface. Look at that. Very, very tight banding right in there. A little bit of quartz, and it had some funky dark stuff right there, too. I'm not sure what that is. Here's another one of her cut agates, and again, the shell ground down to reveal this beautiful pattern. Look at that. Sort of looks like a starry night, maybe, looking up through a telescope. A very high-powered telescope, perhaps. But check out the cut face on it. Look at this. See if I can get the light just right for you. You see that beautiful inclusion in there. I like this one. This one she cut to reveal that beautiful West Texas golden mossiness right there, but even though that's beautiful, check out this side here, especially right over here, these little gray clouds. I really like that. That might be more interesting, to my eye anyway, than this stuff. Oh, although don't get me wrong, I love this mossy agate here. Nothing wrong with that. That's a very pretty cut face right there. It's just that I don't normally see these little cotton balls like that. I picked out this beauty for the quartz lovers out there. I know, this is mostly chalcedony, but when we turn it over, there you go. For all you quartz lovers out there, we got plenty of that to show you. I just can't get enough of these mossy agates. Check this one out as I roll it over here, especially the cut surface right there. Oh, tell me that's not beautiful, that area in the middle of the screen there. Very cool, right? I love it. Hey, check it out. I got lucky. I found a cut pair here. This was once one rock, probably part of our rock off series. They got cut, and now it's all polished. Now looking at this one, it probably did not win the rock off. I don't know. We've filmed so many of those. It's fun to see what it looks like under that shell, though. I do like that a lot better. Takes a great shine, and hey, we got us a couple of ears. Look at that. I'm not entirely sure what this one is. It looks a little mossy, but it's also different looking. You see, let me get this turned over for you so you can see this. It's like a milky agate, right? But it has all those little blobs in it. That's interesting. I'm telling you, you get out there to the Alpine, Texas area and start collecting rocks, you just never know what you'll end up with once you get them tumbled smoothly like this and polished brightly. I think I know the story behind this rock. This is one of those that she had entered into our rock-off contest, probably had that surface there, which very easily could have won the contest. And then after we finished filming that, she would take these rocks back to the saw and cut another surface just to see what else was inside. And that's no doubt this surface right here. So here's one that Kendra cut twice. Or I should say I cut the main cut, but then she later sliced off a little chunk for herself. I know this one's pretty small, but I wanted to show it to you because of this surface here. Let's see if I can get this in the light just right. I think you can see it there. You've got the quartz, then you've got that dark sort of bluish chalcedony, then the brownish chalcedony, some banding. Yeah, look at that there. Even though it's small, this little rock packs quite a punch. Wait until you see this banded beauty here. Look at this on this side. Yeah, not bad, but check out this side, this cut surface here. Look at those little details along the edge and all that luscious banding right there. What is that stuff? Is that saginite right there? Let's take a closer look here. It's hard for me to determine looking through my phone screen like that, but it sure looks like little tiny lashes down there, doesn't it? Neat stuff. On my channel, I like to show it all, and I have to include this one here because not all the rocks took a good shine. This is one of her rocks that I threw in there, and as you can see, it did not take that mirror-like shine. I don't know what it is, but it was obviously soft. So this one is well, it's a throwaway as far as I'm concerned. Now, although this one's rather, let's say, ugly on this bottom side here, although there's some cool detail, I suppose, along the edge, yeah. Check out the top side of this one. It's quartzy, I guess, but it's blue. I think that's well, it's a blue shade. I don't know. The blue is probably coming from whatever's underneath. But I just really like that pattern on there. I guess it's quartz pattern. These small rocks can have such amazing details. Check this little guy out right here. Let me get this up to the camera. Can you see that? Look at all that just amazing detail in there. Wow. What a fun rock, look at that. This big chunk of agate here has more of that beautiful blue chalcedony with the banding. This may be the other half of the first one I showed you in this video. It sort of looks like it anyway. That cool banding in there. Yeah, I would have tumbled this another month or so, but not Kendra. She likes them like this. And hey, it's not a bad looking rock. Check out the crazy shape of this agate. I think I'll call it torpedo agate. You really can't tell much from this side. When we turn it over here, that interesting banding right there. If you see that tiny red, like tube thing inside there, and then there's the other end of it. That's something going through there. You can see it follows along that cylinder shape right there. Interesting, right? This is another one that appears to be sagenitic. This one got cut, and if you look closely, sure, look at that. You see that in there? I believe that's little sagenitic sprays. Nice colors and patterns in this. Oh, I do like that stuff a lot. So much going on inside this rock. Let's get back to some really pretty mossiness here. We saw one like this earlier. This must be the other half of it. This is the cut face here, I believe. Oh, look at that. Okay, I believe that's a plume agate right there. Let me see. Can I tell through the screen? To my eye, that looks like pluming. Is that what you're seeing? Beautiful stuff, regardless, but I think this is a genuine plume agate right here. Yep, right in there. That little tiny hair is pointing to it. You know, right in there. Those are plumes. Nice stuff. This appears to be a tiny piece of the Crayola agate that we found out there at the Coconut 06 Ranch near Alpine. It's got lots of color in it. Oh, look at that beautiful shade of, is that orange there? That's pretty. Yeah, I did a whole video of nothing but this Crayola agate. It just turns out so beautiful when you tumble and polish it. This piece has a, well, somewhat pretty cut surface here. You see some banding in there, sure. When we turn it over, I like this side more, the uncut side, because you see those little inclusions in there? I find those very appealing to the eye. So far we've seen some mossy agates, some sagenitic agates, some banded agates, and now we've got, well, waterline banded agates. You see there? Sure, look at that. That's kind of cool. Small though it be, still another one we can check off the list. When you look closely at these smaller, darker agates that she found, you can discover some beautiful, beautiful stuff in there. Look at that scene there. That's cool, where it's wearing down there, what's being revealed. And there's some ugly host rock there. Little tiny dendritic feature there, you see that? Yeah, these are just little works of art. This one, it turns out, says sagenitic agate, and you don't really notice it so much on this cut surface because we've cut through them in such a way where you don't necessarily see it. But when I turn it, there, you could start to see it now for sure. Look in there. Looks like a big explosion going on, doesn't it? Yes, right there, you can really see it. Now the spray's in there. Yeah, this is just one example of what this sagenite can look like. Now this one's very roughly tumbled. However, I had to show you because, wait until you see, yes, look at some of the color in this one. Look at that, it's like a purple, a red. Lovely stuff. We did find several of these larger, like jasp agates that unfortunately were very fractured. So we slabbed them and the slabs were just not very useful. Doesn't mean they don't have a great color though. Here's another small one with some great detail. This is the shell. So you can see once we ground down the shell, there's plenty of interesting stuff. And this was the cut surface here. It's like a painting, isn't it? Really, really pretty stuff. This one was promising when she picked it up because no doubt this was revealed here, the quartz and the chalcedony with the banding. So once it got cut, this is the surface we got here. Ooh, very nice, right? Here we are, yet another one of these small but beautiful agates that Kendra found. I warned you this video was going to be long. It's because I want you to see some of these amazing details that only nature can create. Look at the colors in there and the pattern. Oh, sure, it's a rough tumble, but it's still so beautiful. Those shapes in there and colors. Just amazing. Here's another fun one that got cut, no doubt in one of our rock off videos. Let's take a look at this surface here and, ooh. Intricate details, nice color. Good looking little agate. I hope you agree. Time to get back to some fortification banding. That's the stuff we all like, right? Look at this one here. Let's see if we can get the light on it just right. It's always difficult for me to light these in this little studio I use because of the reflection. My phone doesn't like that, so it tends to darken these up, but I hope you can still see the banding that goes around this one because it really is pretty. These just keep getting better and better. Look at this one here. So I want you to notice some of the color that you see and the patterns in here. When I turn it like this, seriously, how many colors do you see in there? I'm thinking 5 maybe. And some of the detail, ooh, nice. This is only after about 2 weeks of coarse grit tumbling. Imagine if we were to get these things tumbled more smoothly to reveal even more of those beautiful details. Here's a fun little agate here. You can see this top part and bottom part are still rather rough, but the sides, you got our quartz pocket in there. More of it there, and I actually like this side. When you look at this, you can see the quartz going inside there. You see it has depth to it. I really like that. From the outside, you wouldn't think too much of this one here. It's just another agate, very coarse looking, but this one got cut open and look what was on the inside. Yes, we've got banding, but we also have that color fade, that brown to the blue to the gray. I sure like that combination. Okay, it's time for another one of these small but amazingly intricately detailed ones here. Check this one out. Lots of little banding there. You see the colors, sure, look at that. And as we turn it over here, how cool is that? I think it's sagenitic, right? It's got that metallic sort of, you see it right there, the reflection. That is a fun agate right there. Wow, I'm gonna have to convince Kendra to let me tumble some of these things a little bit longer in the coarse grit so we can smooth them out even more to reveal what's under there, because I think that's super interesting. This chalcedony has some very nice rich color to it. Look at this when I turn it. It's almost an amber color, but not quite. It has those inclusions in it you can just make out there at the end. Very nice. Little quartz pocket there with some banding around it. Yeah, I like this. I wish I could remember what this one looked like before the coarse grit stage. It would not have looked like this. We might not have even noticed it was chalcedony, but we sure can see it now. This one would definitely look better if we kept it in the coarse grit longer. When I zoom in here, you can really see that there's stuff going on in the actual chalcedony, right? You can see it in there, but then we have these pits that are just getting in the way. Same is true on this side here. When you look closely, you know you're seeing some kind of beautiful patterning inside this one. Oh, there, you can definitely see it there. Unfortunately, it's just drowning out in the little pits there. Still, it's a good looking rock. I like the way this one tumbled. You see those dark areas there. I don't know if that's just area that didn't grind down or what. I don't think it's, maybe inclusions. But what's more interesting on this one is, let me find it. Oh yeah, right there. Look at the red in there. Check that out. I do like that when you see a splash of red in one of these rocks. A little splashes there as well. So we have the red splashes and then the mysterious sort of inclusion looking things. If you're into banding, check this one out. I just picked it up from the pile and looky here, we got some good banding. See that? With the quartz. Ooh, and look at that lower section there. That's fun. What is that? Yeah, very nice. I'm not sure what this one is, but I really like it because from this profile, you see it's mostly the red, but as we turn it, this side here has what appears to be a grayish blue color. And then the bottom is a yellowish color. Look at that. Kind of a candy corn sort of thing. Not quite right, but it's trying. Some of these are itty bitty, but it doesn't mean they're not great. Check this one out here. This is a little tiny itsy bitsy piece of the sagenitic agate. You can see the little sticks in there. Look at that right there. That's fun stuff. Even though it's small, it's pretty amazing. And here we go again, another one of these small agates that once the coarse grit did its job, it revealed all sorts of cool colors and patterns. This one has great color in it. I definitely see some red in there, lots of orange, yellow, some whitish, silverish color. Nice. This little seam agate is nice. Check it out here. When I turn it over to the cut surface, ooh, that is superb. That's a beautiful, beautiful seam agate right there. I love the detail in that. If this were one of our rock-off rocks, she probably won this round. Much like the one I showed you a moment ago, here's a small one with some amazing details, little sagenitic details, I believe. Look at that, what's just starting to come through. Yeah, look at that in there. That's all along the edge of this thing. So the inside of the agate would have been this milky whatever stuff here, but along the edge, that's where the beauty lies. Look at that. Now that is awesome stuff. Okay, here's one more of those little agates that have been ground down to reveal just amazing, amazing stuff. Look at that. Just superb. I've got to show you this mossy one here. More of that beautiful patterning. The dark, well, let's call it, it's almost a black, and then the brown, then the gray. What a superb combination. I hope you agree. And then there's this interesting looking one here. Let's see if we can catch this just right. You see it's translucent, has those 3 little sort of inclusions right there. And then it has the candy corn sort of shape and pattern in it. You can see how it started to grind away here. Still a little bit of that shell left on there to give it some character. I realize this video is starting to go long, so let's start winding down. Check this one out here. It has inside of it some of that really cool stringy mossiness. You see that in there? That's fun stuff right there. That's the stuff that looks like maybe you're staring into the, I don't know, the bottom of the ocean or something. These two must have gone together. They are certainly special. Look at the pretty color in there. And then this side here, wowza. That shade of blue, are you kidding me? This must have been cut from it right here, I'm guessing. It looks very similar. Does that match somehow? I don't know. I'm sure it did at some point. What a beautiful rock though, right? I really like this little biscuit right here when we get close. Got a little quartz pocket, but we also have some fun inclusions right there. Looks like an old set of rabbit ears on top of a TV. You see that? Well, for those of you out there who are young, you don't know what rabbit ears are, but that was an antenna we used to stick on top of televisions to try to get the stations to come in clearly. Little V-shaped thing there. I like this one. I could hardly wait to see this one all polished up. I remember this one too. It was in one of our rock-off contests. It was an oddly shaped agate nodule, and we cut it in half, and ooh, she had a beauty right there. Look at the, well, it's sort of a pinkish color, orangish color, brownish color. Easily won that round of the rock-off. There's another half of this somewhere. I don't know. It's got to be in one of her buckets. Yeah, easily one of my favorites as well. All right, just 2 more to go. This one, you see the, well, let's call this the rough side right here. And then we get, well, is it a cut side? I think that's cut. What I like are the inclusions. You see that? These little dendritic features that look like trees growing or roots growing. Look at that. It's all over this thing. Or veins. How about that? This rock is alive, and those are the veins that supply all the blood. Wow, they're just everywhere. Very nice. So I've saved this one for last, only because very recently I uploaded a video where I showed the polishing of the other half of this one. So this half, and by the way, this was part of our rock-off series, and it won, but this half ended up getting tumbled. The other half of it, which I just happen to have right here, got a face polish. Now we can see the difference here. So this one I just took into the shop, got it on the, well, the flat lap and then the cabbing machine, put a nice polish on it, left everything else as is. This half got tossed in the coarse grit for a couple of weeks, and then in the vibratory tumbler for the shine. Now, which side do you like better? I don't know. For me, it's hard to say. I think I like, I don't know. They're both interesting. I'm a big time rock tumbler though, so I'm probably gonna say the one on the right here, the tumbled stone, I prefer, but they're both cool. I hope you agree. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was longer than usual, but I just had to show you some of these amazing rocks that Kendra found out there in West Texas near Alpine. If you like this video, please check my playlist. I've got lots more of these rock tumbling videos for you to enjoy. Thanks again for watching.